There's a moment a lot of people experience where nothing is obviously wrong, but something feels off. You're capable. Things look great from the outside, but internally, something just isn't aligned anymore. And most people misread that moment. They think to themselves that they need to fix something or push harder or change everything. But what if that isn't exactly what is happening? In this conversation, I sat down with a former fighter pilot who spent his years helping leaders operate within this chaos. And what we actually explored is this: when things feel off, how do you actually get clear again? Today, I'm joined by Boo Bikocious, and we're going to talk a lot about this. But before we dive in, Boo, tell us a little bit about your background and your mission.
Yeah, look, my mission is just to help good people become great leaders. People who struggle with leadership at their moral, they're ethical, they want to do the right thing. Uh, typically have a service-minded attitude in that they prefer to be the kingmaker rather than the king. And for me, I want to empower great people because I think there's just a significant amount of poor leadership in the world today. People who should be leaders, but they don't have the confidence and they don't feel in themselves that they are a leader. To equip them with a basic leadership system I call flawless leadership that empowers them to be phenomenal leaders. My background is what drives that. And my background was 11 years as a fighter pilot, where we have a really great, simple leadership and execution system, and how to take that and translate it into the real world. You'll find that you are really the purveyor of chaos in your life. It's not the external world, the mismatch between our feelings, thoughts, and actions. And we find ourselves in misalignment most of the day, which is why we feel busy all the time. We wake up in the morning and we kind of do whatever's in front of us, right? We don't really bring intention to the day. You as a human are fundamentally engineered to prioritize distraction because that's our survival wiring. It goes back to when we used to wander around the forest looking for tigers and bears and a rustle in the bushes was the sort of distraction you wanted to pay attention to. We haven't brought this space, and this space is what you need as a fighter pilot, which is the space between a stimulus and a reaction. There is no trigger point between an email coming in and opening it and reading it.
What is that one thing that would at least start the momentum to get them into the area where we're kind of making progress?
You create 3 destinations in the morning and you check in on it 3 times. When you wake up, in the middle of the day and about 2 hours left in the day, right? And that kind of recenters you and stops you from being a servant to all the digital distraction that we now experience. If you just focus on those 3 things and you carve out 3 hours per day, 3 1-hour blocks, I call it missionization, you'll knock those 3 things out probably in the first hour. You are the chaos. The world is not the chaos. It's you. Plan, brief, execute, debrief. What was the plan? What happened? Why is there a gap between the plan and what happened? React means that you've gone from stimulus to reaction straight away. Respond means we've gone from stimulus to thought to action.
If you could talk a little bit about Orca.
Orca is a 4-step process that creates a growth mindset. We use Orca, and Orca is a mnemonic for objective, result, cause, action. What was the result? Like, what was reality there? Like, why didn't I get my 3 things done? What happened, and what are we going to do about it tomorrow morning? We're energized by what we can do about it tomorrow. And that's why people don't like talking about mistakes and failure, because it's looking backwards. Be intentional, write down your 3 things, be reflective, reflect on the 3 things and why they weren't achieved. If you don't bookend execution with a start and a finish, then it's just chaos all the time.
All right. Well, if someone wanted to lean into more of your content and even connect with you, where could they find you, Boo?
Just Google Bikocious, Boucousis. I am the only Bikocious out there, apart from my dad, and he's in his late 70s, so he doesn't do much. And Call Me Boo is my website. Afterburner is our company. And come June, July, I'll be releasing Flawless Leadership, which is the manual for leaders to do all of their stuff really well and be impactful over busy.
This conversation has been wonderful, and I feel like I've grown with intention. So thank you so much, Boo. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we our paths cross again in the future.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Very grateful for the opportunity.